was a Sunday. Early, windy, very windy, and getting worse. I must have been halfway down Harbour Lane when some sound mixed in with the wind and waves and made me look up. It was hard to hear at first, but it's getting closer, it's coming my way. Quick footsteps, and the sound of a pushchair being pushed very fast. That's when I saw her. She had no mac, no jacket, nothing, this woman. She was soaked through. And she was pushing a buggy along the harbour wall as if her life depended on it. I could hear the baby crying. The wind was so strong that she could hardly keep the thing in a straight line. It kept sort of weaving all over the place and sort of half lifting up so that not all of the wheels were on the ground. We were getting close this whole time, me and this woman, just along the parapet rail, and she still hadn't seen me. That's when I saw Eric across the harbour. He was putting up some extra lines on the Jenny G. God, how he loved that boat. Something made him look up, and when he did, I could see the tension in his body. Seconds before I realised it myself, that something terrible was about to happen. Just then there was a huge gust of wind. The buggy lifted as if it weighed nothing. It rose and sort of slewed towards the railings. This woman, she started wrestling with the handles, but it writhed like a living thing, like an awkward, ugly bird straining towards the sea. It finally broke free, and the wheels just clipped the railing as it went. The woman's cry was shrill above the bass notes of the gale. I had to get down there. I had to get down there to the slipway, because perhaps from there I could see the baby. I could get to the baby. That's when I saw Eric cycling, of all things, towards us from the other side of the harbour. When he reached us, he pushed aside his bike, he climbed up onto the parapet rail, and then he just dived in. I ran as fast as I could down those steps. But when I got down there was no sign of Eric or of the buggy. Just waves and spray. That's when I saw him. On a crest, Eric. He was swimming awkwardly on his back, with the baby on his chest. He was visible in the crest and disappearing in the troughs, but he was slowly and steadily coming towards me. "Nancy," he called, "can you reach me?" So I waded down into about waist deep, and the waves were breaking over my face, but I reached him, and I pulled him up. I was so afraid of what I was going to find. I turned over the sodden blanket, and the child's eyes were open and gazing up at me. Eric. It's alive. It's alive. Eric's eyes were shining, and mine must have been too, because I never felt, well, love like that channeled into this tiny human being. This tiny human being that I had no connection with. I held this baby and I looked up to try and find the woman, the mother. I was so excited to share in her joy and relief. Her face appeared above the parapet rail, perhaps long enough to see that the child was alive. And then it disappeared. And she was gone. We never saw her again. Without any consciousness of what I was doing, I looked down at this little white face. I wiped away the sea water and I said, "Ocean, you are the ocean. You are Kai."